I've had my leg amputated below the knee. Fulfill a dream granted me the wish of a running prosthesis. I got that shortly after I finished chemo and started running on the prosthesis before I'd even regrown hair. The amputation was something that to me was just another physical challenge, just like running. I've been through physical challenges, I've had injuries due to running, and so that's sort of how I approached it. When I immediately afterwards, I wanted to get out of bed and I wanted to start walking around and I wanted to say, hey, look, I can do this, because there's so many people that at least there's this popular notion that you're an amputee, you can't do certain things. I was like, no, I know you can't, because I've seen other people that have done it. I've seen people that have run marathons, and I've seen people that have done Ironmans, and it's not a disability. Like, anything that you want to do can be done. So I thought, well, I'm going to prove that not only to myself that it can be done, but I'm going to prove it to everybody else that's around to witness it. I tried to hide a lot of anger. I didn't want to let the people that were around me know how pissed off I was. So I spent a great deal of time trying to cover it up, and I think sometimes I even fooled myself into thinking that I wasn't angry. So that's something that I still think about a lot, is how angry was I? And I'm not really sure. I'm sure that at times I was, and at times it felt really good to be angry, because if I would be angry and I would, concede to that, then afterwards I'd feel a lot better. It's like a lot of people don't want to cry. And it's like, well, I loved crying, because after I would cry, I'd be like, oh, whew, that weight's off my shoulder. And so if I would let myself be angry, and again, it's still something that I grapple with. I don't know if it was anger or there's so many emotions that come with being diagnosed that it's hard to say how I would classify my emotions. It's actually kind of weird. You don't just want to spout out when you first meet somebody new. You're like, hey, I had cancer. They're like, great, I'm gonna run in the other direction now. So it is something that I have to consider when I meet new people, as far as how to broach the subject, and usually it's pretty easy, especially if I'm wearing shorts. Oh, how did that happen? It's sort of like my crutch. It's like every time that I meet somebody new, how were you diagnosed? When were you diagnosed? What was it like? I go through the whole story with everybody. When I meet somebody new, as far as a dating prospect, kind of weird, because you want to just come out and tell them and get it out of the way, but then you also don't want to scare the person. So I haven't really figured out how to navigate it properly. I usually just come out and tell them because I want to get it out of the way, and if it scares them, too bad. It's not worth my time. My name is C.J. Howard. I'm 21 years old, and I'm an osteosarcoma survivor.